Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is Greg from Greg's Whiskey Guide, bringing you some personal, of course, always opinion and some sourced informations, some being sometimes exclusive to this channel. Lots of things going on. I did another tasting about a French brand which is called BM, Bruno Mangin, and I forgot to bring the bottle, but never mind. Because I put a report, a wee report in three or four, on Instagram. So again, for those who are following me for only a short time, but even for the others, while my website is a bit mothballed still, I'm sorry, but still you can have a look at it. It has a lot of content in it. The updating of the infos and tastings I do, everything new since a year, let's say now almost, is on my Instagram, YouTube of course, but also on Instagram now, that I opened since October 2021. And while I might speak about other things on other social media, the Instagram is almost 100%. Of course, I can talk about music and else, but really 99% on focused on whiskey and sometimes other spirits. Yeah, please check out my Instagram, Greg's Whiskey Guide, in one word, and you will see updates and also some teasers about some future reviews. And yes, it is an Ardnamurchan American. It's a brand new cask strength that I received yesterday, so I'm excited. But for now, I was about not to do a video this weekend, but because it's getting hot in Paris now. But as I had a fresh morning because the sun turned on the other side, and it seems suitable for just a wee whiskey tasting, 40% only, so it's perfect with my choice, today's choice. I'm not going to give you any background. It's about Bushmills, of course, about the distillery, because I did several videos or live shows, etc., in which I talked about Bushmills a lot. Still, I think I should do the 1608 as well. I'm just showing these because it's going to be not necessarily my next week, but one of the next weeks I'm going to also cover this to see if there's a nice difference recipe, not only ABV wise. This is at 40%, this is at 43%, and exclusive, it seems, not 100% sure, to France, or at least it's called Caviste, 43%, exclusive Caviste, 43% edition, and Caviste means retailer in French. So I don't know if they deliberately choose that, still don't know, for French market, or if it's used also as international. Right, today I'm gonna do a comparison, but mainly I'm gonna review this new, as you can see, I'm very pleased with it, with the Irish Rum Reserve, Irish whiskey, so blended, this one from Bushmills, so triple distilled, and Northern Highlands, Bushmills Rum Reserve Caribbean Experience. And that makes me think I forgot to pull out my tasting note sheet, so I'll be back. 1 second, please. Right, so I'm back with my notes for both Bushmills, but also I'm back to show you the bottle of the French distillery I talked to you about. So Bruno Mangin, it's the guy right here, and BM signature is the range. It's a single malt whiskey made only with wine cask. This distillery only uses wine cask for maturation, French wine cask, and mainly from the same region. So this one is made in a sweet wine using Jura wine as well. It's called Magvin. It's bottled 40%. It has a bit suffered, I have to say, from the exposition to heat in my house, so it doesn't really feeling well when it was okay when it was open, so I'm not sure I'm going to review it. But again, hand over please to my Instagram for the 7 whiskies we tried at the Whiskey Shop Paris, and I quickly talk about them, or at least some of them. My 3 highlights, let's say. So a beer cask, and 2 vin jaune casks, and there were also nice Jurançon wine. So the last quoted is a sweet wine, the others are not. Very typical, very specific wines of France. Right, let's get back. And yes, this I'm used to elevate, so you will know everything, and this old camera box to elevate things to show you this. And this is gonna be for some people maybe a provocative review, because I'm gonna praise and rate quite high, I saw my notes, something that is overlooked and despised by many people of the whiskey community or else, especially the young generation and people who have not enough experience in blended whiskies, in my opinion. Because, and sorry if it come across rude, because I think Bushmills, even at 40%, does some, not all, beautiful stuff because of the exceptional, I believe, quality of the grain whiskies they use. This is at least what I think. You might disagree, as always, tell me what you think. But this, for instance, and this, I think when the batches are good, and I'm now into, this is the box of the old version, which was not called the original, and I've been buying this for several years, and currently have some beautiful batches of the original. This one I will find out with you, because I have noted this, or I will say right away it's 2013 batch. Okay, right. So you might wonder, is Greg updated really? We'll see. I'll probably buy others, don't worry about that, and we'll keep you posted. But for now, enough. I don't want this to be too long. So no background about Bushmills, because you have a lot of videos. I will put a link below about Bushmills I have done. Ellen Mulholland is the master blender. One has to highlight her. I like the kind of exotic picture they included in there. Rum Reserve, what rum? We don't know, except it says Caribbean Experience. Bushmills Single-Malt. Single-Malt? Ah, yes. Finished in hand-selected Caribbean rum cask and blended, okay, with smooth triple distilled Irish grain whiskey for subtle fruit and dry spice flavors. That's as close as you can get of information. This one is a French version, so part of the text is translated there. I like the engraving always. It's simple. It's for the geeks out there. Yes, it's chill filtered. Yes, it's not natural color, but I don't care in that case, if I may say. Of course, I would like it to be non-chill filtered, and 43, it doesn't need 46, in my opinion. Okay, enough ranting, Greg. Let's get to the tasting before it gets too hot, because I had to close the window because there's some big flies and other nasty things, and I don't want them to get there. The color, even if it's a bit it's still clear. It's a nice honeyed yellow color. Legs and stuff wise, let's see, quite sticking some time, but then after a few seconds fading quickly. The nose is gorgeous, full of exotic fruits. Of course, some citrus notes, but also some pineapple, some pear, some banana, Yeah, all sorts of pear. There's some hint of a bit overcooked cane sugar in it. I have no idea which rum it is, but probably one belonging to Casa Cuervo, the owner, who knows. Or they did exchange some cask, of course, as usual with other companies. But lovely nose. There's lots of exotic fruits coming across first, and then you have that bed of vanilla, reassuring, comforting vanilla, and this sweetness, beautiful sweetness with this beautiful grain, that the backbone of and the strength, I believe, also of this blend, like the original. Bearing in mind that as it's triple distilled, we know by some experience, and I agree with Jim from Whiskey Novice, that sometimes the young single malts from the distillery can be a little harsh, but when it ages, and I have a 24 years old still to review, undisclosed Bushmills, it's fantastic. I've tried quite some indie or undisclosed indies and old Bushmills that are fantastic. But I believe the best is about affordable stuff, of course, is when they do blended whiskies with they blend the beautiful grain with their young malt, and it really makes it some great balance. So beautiful nose, very rich, very sweet as well, very melted, but still coming across strongly flavorful. There's some all 3 or 4 kinds of different apples, I will say, yellow, green, the one we call golden here in France, so it's yellow, a bit, let's say golden yellow. Also we have some green apple, we have some red apples as well. All this making a nice palette of flavors. Got some pear, some conference pear maybe. Some pineapple, but I will say not fresh pineapple, but pineapple cut and into cans with sugar syrup. You know, those ones you found in mixed fruit salads in cans. But still it comes across very fresh, and I like that. Okay, let's go to the palate now. Cheers. Very, very nice. Very balanced. I tried it quite a lot of time. It also, be shocked or not, goes quite well with ice. We're not going to try this today. Maybe later on, if it's not too hot. Maybe at 7 o'clock. We'll try it with a few drops of water, but I really like how it matches the nose. I wrote exactly the same thing on my, except, yes, some sweet spices, some sweetened ginger. So quite pretty. Not really strong spices. Quite. I forgot to mention floral, nice floral notes. Not heady flowers, but all kinds of flowers that does something like a nice bouquet, balanced bouquet, where you just got the floral thing note. I quite like it. Just a second. Okay, we're gonna try it with a few drops. And then I will compare it to the original, of course, which is the core range's flagship. Let's shake it a bit. Take another sip of water again. Gotta stay hydrated in that period, right? And I didn't even started the fan, but I might in after the video. So really nice. There's nothing really. There's no criticism I can do about this, and also about the original. It's. I mean, I don't even feel the need of the 43%. To be honest, it's greatly expressive like that. How much was it? Around 18 euros on offer. Otherwise, I think around 21 euros. I mean, I bought 2 others. I'm sorry. This is great. This works super well as an appetizer. You might also associate it with some dessert, with a fruit salad. I don't know. Very nice. Coming across of the grain component. The rum is not overpowering the palate, I forgot to say in any way. It just adds a layer to the bourbon backbone of the original, and that is just another supplementary layer. Just nice, not super strong, but it's perfectly made. I stop now. And you're gonna be shocked by the rating. Like always, I'm gonna put back my rating system, which is a bit now I wanted to stop justifying myself. I rate integrating for some reason, and it's too late to change now, and a few years ago I wanted to change. It's too late, so I gotta face it, or not mention it and use another scale for videos. But for now, for me, I tend to integrate the pleasure factor in the rating. And when the pleasure factor is big, what you have to understand is the final score will be very high. And for me, that's the most important thing. So don't compare, please, again, blended whiskies with single malts. This makes no sense at all. In these kinds of things you have, I don't know exactly for the Irish, but when it comes to Scotch whiskey, for the most common and core range of, if I may say, of the big named brands, it's around 75% usually grain content and 25% only single malt. How can you compare these? And often this more heavily colored, caramel colored, so it does have an impact in my opinion, and more inferior to 0 degrees, -4 most often, chill filtered, so you cannot compare it with them, except for super generic ones, maybe. Okay, enough of this. My rating for this, 88 out of 100. Yes, and to give you some comparison, I did a scale comparison with other famous reviewers on my website. This is usually for this kind of things 6 points, 4 to 6 points less that those people will give to those whiskies in my calculation. Might be wrong. Okay, so this was the Rum Reserve. I think I covered the original in another video, so I'm not going to be long on it. And I cannot put the 2 bottles, unfortunately, on the same thing. I gotta find a system in someday. Okay, let's go quick, Greg, if I may say. Greg. This is the original. So, legs-wise, sticks a bit more. Don't know about the age. Usually those, for the single malts, the common use 10 years ago from Cooley and other distilleries were to bottle at 7 years old. They're undisclosed single malt, the Connemara, for instance, or the Tyrconnell. 6-7 years old is the youngest, usually bottled. So I don't know. For the blends, it's obviously often less. But this, and the Rum Reserve doesn't come across as a 3 or 5 years old, but more. So I don't know. So the original now, that's I bought a few years ago for, yeah, again on an offer. Instead of 18, 18 I had it for, or 16 I had it for 14 euros. At that price, it's probably the best best Irish you will find, I think, value-wise. This is gorgeous. This is the most beautiful things. I don't know if there's sherry cask involved. I don't think so. Or could be a minority of refill sherry. But this is gorgeous, showcasing ex-bourbon cask, vanilla, sweet spices, some citrus fruit. The malt and the grain. The grain especially comes across as exceptionally good, in my opinion. So this comes across strong on the nose, now on the palate. There's this some silky sweetness, little bit like almond sugar, and there's something very tricky. I even struggle to describe. Yeah, I said very Irish. I struggle to give details, honestly. Some beautiful esters, yeah, that's what I said. Some nice flowers, honey, almonds. Hint of praline in the finish. That's the thing I was searching for. Yeah, so when I say esters, I mean English licorice, all sorts. Hint of banana, hint of pear, hint of pineapple. But this obviously doesn't come across as strong, yet still balanced as in this one. But this is the one which showcases the best, the grain quality, exceptional quality of what Bushmill uses for this expression especially. So this is really beautiful. Quite really, I will even dare to say that I feel the grain quality there is better than in Scotland for this entry level blended whiskey. I don't know if it's because it's triple distilled, it's probably my guess, but I think the sourcing for this is, I don't know how they do that. Jim, if you know, from Whiskey Novice. But this is really a killer. And this is for the blender I am, and now going pro a bit. This is a treat. This is a super treat that only people interested in blendings, in single grains on one side, single malts on the other side, and how they interact can really appreciate that. And newcomers to whiskey that will love this silky smoothness, yet still expressive, in my opinion. And that's very nice, discreet but intricate vanilla pods, floral notes, sweet fruits. So the apples, the pears, the other things I said, but everything super melted, superbly crafted, and yeah, this goes super well on ice. I'm sorry again to shock you, some of you. Rated 89. Yes, I'm sorry. Not sorry, in fact. I don't care. This is superbly crafted. And this is a rating for a blended whiskey. Don't compare it to a single malt once again. So, highly recommended this one. Just one point of difference, because this one showcases so beautifully the grain, but honestly those two are winners, and I highly recommend these, especially to people who are put off with maybe sometimes some harshness of Scottish single malt or even some Irish single malt. this will be a treat and a good introduction to whiskey, in my opinion, and to how beautiful whiskey can be. So I hope you find it interesting. Let me know your thoughts, and do you agree with me or not about the quality of the grain they use? Do you know something special about it? Please let me know in the comment section. And what's your favorite Bushmills as well? I'll be blended, I mean, this time. Yeah, thank you. Hope you're well, and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.